11 Famous Yezidi Temples. The world of temples is an amazing and indescribable world of beauty, in which a person tries to come into contact with various sacraments and thus get closer to God. For many years in the USSR, there was an erroneous opinion among the Yezidi community that the Yezidis had a single temple, St. Lalish. With the collapse of the Soviet Union and the opening of the borders, it turned out that in the historical homeland of the Yezidis there are dozens of temples and shrines that have become the spiritual and historical heritage of the Yezidi world. Unfortunately, some of them were destroyed by ISIS terrorists. But we hope that after the liberation of the Yezidi territories, the destroyed temples will be restored again. The main shrine of the Yezidis, the Temple of Lalish Nrini, which means Holy Lalish, near Sheikhan, northern Iraq. The exact date of the foundation of the temple is unknown, but according to experts, the temple existed in the pre-Christian era. In the 12th century, the local population, who revered the ancient temple, becoming followers of Lord Shihadi, returned it to themselves. Shihadi spent his entire earthly life in Lalish. The temple is located in the gorge of the same name, where, according to the Yezidi sacred texts, the Garden of Eden was located. There are 3 domes on the main building of the temple. The largest one is in honor of Shadi, the second largest one is in honor of Sheikhan, and the third one is in honor of Shamusa Anjali. In addition, there are 3 more towers with the same cone-shaped domes in the gorge, Shamashala, Shashams, and Nadkaniya Spi. 2 holy keys for Yezidis are beating under the temple, Kaniya Spi and Zems. Lalish is a place of pilgrimage for Yezidis all over the world. On October 6th to 13th, Yezidis from all over the world come here. There are many memorable places of the Yezidi saints in the gorge and in its surroundings, which are sacred to the Yezidis. Not far from Lalish, in Sheikhan, there are residences of the spiritual and secular heads of the Yezidis of the world of Tahsin Beg and Akhtiar Marj Ba Sheikh. On the temple, there is a Lalish on the top with 2 metal spheres and a hand shape, which symbolizes the hand of the Lord. Every year, during the holiday of Jamaya Shadi, multicolored fabrics are offered to her, symbolizing the offering. Makmaroshan Shrine in Matlob, northern Iraq. The shrine was founded around the 13th century. In the 20th century, part of the temple collapsed and was restored only in 2011. Makmaroshan is one of the first companions of Shadi, who was faithful to his teacher until the end of his life. The dome of the temple has a Yezidi classical architectural style. There is also a statue of a lion, which symbolizes courage and divine power. Makmaroshan is often called Sher, lion. The temple is located in northern Iraq at the foot of Mount Matlob, revered by the Yezidis as a place of saints. Shamanda Shrine in Ain Sifni, Sheikhan, northern Iraq. The date of its foundation is unknown. The temple was erected in honor of the Yezidi saint Sheikh Mandefakr, who is considered the patron saint of snakes, which symbolizes wisdom in different cultures, including Christianity. The architecture differs from other Yezidi temples, has a square shape and a flat roof, without a dome. At the entrance there is a statue of a snake. Perbuba Temple in Baksan, Bazon, northern Iraq. The date of its foundation is unknown. The temple was erected in honor of the Yezidi saint Perbuba Bazani, one of the disciples of Shadi. According to legend, Perbuba was sent by the Shadi to Bazon to preach the true path. The architecture has the classic style of Yezidi temples, has a conical dome. It was restored at the end of the 20th century. The church had a library and a religious Sunday school for children. After the capture of Bazon by ISIS militants in August 2014, the temple was blown up. Shahibakra Temple, Bazon, northern Iraq. The date of its foundation is unknown. It was erected near the cave in the village of Bazon in honor of the Yezidi saint Shahibakra, one of the faithful followers of Shadi, who was a preacher and teacher in the knowledge of the mystical path. Shahibakra led an ascetic lifestyle and was greatly revered by the Yezidis. The temple is made in the traditional Yezidi style of architecture, has a conical dome. It was restored at the end of the 20th century. The temple was located in a beautiful garden among mulberry and olive trees. After the capture of Bazon by ISIS militants in August 2014, the temple was blown up. Sheikh Al-Sham Shrine, Sheikhan, northern Iraq. The date of foundation of the temple is unknown. It was erected in honor of the Yezidi saint Sheikh Al-Shams, one of the sons of Sheikh. The architecture is made in the classic Yezidi style. The dome of the temple has a conical shape. It is located in the middle of the Yezidi cemetery on a hill. Sultan Azid Temple, Cuba. Sultan Azid, Tobilisi, Georgia. The foundation stone of the temple was laid in October 2012 by the highest clergy from Lalish, and construction began in 2013. The grand opening of the temple took place on June 16, 2015 in the presence of representatives of the highest clergy from Lalish, the government of Georgia and spiritual leaders of different faiths. The temple is built in the classical Yezidis style. The pommel of the temple quill is also created in the traditional style, 2 spheres and a palm on it. According to the decision of the Spiritual Council of the Yezidis in Georgia, every year, on the Sunday before the day of commemoration of the deceased Rohab Marsal, the holiday Tawafa Azid will be celebrated. The Center of Yezidi Studies and the Cultural Center House of Yezidis of Georgia operates at the Tobilisi temple. The courtyard of the temple is decorated with a garden of different types of rare plants. The shrine of the Yezidis Zarada Ezdiya, Anlik village, Armenia. It is the first shrine built in the post-Soviet space in 2012. The territory of the temple is decorated with a beautiful garden, and an alley has been created in front of the entrance to the courtyard, where there are monuments to Yezidi heroes. The white stone with which it is decorated gives beauty to the shrine. There is a meeting hall for the local community at the temple. The dome of the shrine resembles the domes of the Yezidi temples in Iraq. In 2015, it was decided to build another temple Cuba near Devane next to the shrine. The laying of the foundation stone of the temple took place in September 2015. Every year, on September 29, the opening day of the Zarada Ezdiya temple is celebrated. Sharfadan Temple in Shano, Sinjar, northern Iraq. The exact date of the foundation of the temple is unknown. It was erected in honor of the Yezidi spiritual leader and Saint Sharifadan, who symbolizes the Yezidi religion and is considered the coming Messiah. The temple is located in the northern part of the Sinjar Mountains. Throughout all the centuries, the Sharfadan shrine has been an example of the steadfastness of the Yezidi spirit. When ISIS terrorists captured Shano, it was here that the Yezidi resistance was founded. Haji Ali Shrine in Badr, northern Iraq. The shrine was founded around the 14th century. It was destroyed by Kurdish raids, after which it was restored. After some time, the temple was destroyed again, and restored only at the beginning of the 20th century. Haji Ali was one of the faithful followers of Shadi, who regaled his teacher for 40 days at his home in Badr. The dome of the temple is made in the classic Yezidi architectural style, but has a number of features. There are 2 columns in front of the doors, and inside there is an image of a peacock on the walls. The Tavusi Malik and 7 Angels Temple in the village of Analik, 35 kilometers from Yerevan, is the world's largest Yezidi religious building. Malik Tavis is an angel in Yezidi mythology, depicted as a peacock. The temple is covered with white marble. It is crowned by a high marble cone with a hole for sunlight. Many of the temples described in the video have been unwitting witnesses of mass crimes against the Yezidis for many centuries. One way or another, whole empires perished, many peoples disappeared, who made a huge contribution to the spiritual heritage of all mankind, but the Yezidis, having endured so much bitterness and outrages, managed to survive. And the reason for this is the faith that lived in the heart of every Yezidi and never left this people.